to the Western region. Of course, we're doing this with the 2nd Takoradi Metropolitan Assembly and through the partnership with the EU-funded Twin Cities in Sustainable Partnership Projects. Also in collaboration with us, they sent a team out there today. The unannounced visit to inspect the sanitary condition of households and commercial facilities forms part of the effort to make the city the cleanest assembly in the Western region. Ina Tala is our correspondent, traveled with the team. Ina, what did you find today?
Well, Evans, so while we visited, we found out that most vendors were selling, exposing their food to the sun in sanitary conditions. Some households lack toilet facilities, among other nuisances within the 2nd sub-metro of the SUMA.
Did they arrest anybody?
No, so for this week, it's a week for cautioning. The subsequent week, they'll start arrest and then prosecution. And so they have been cautioned that once we come back next week, they should be prepared to be arrested if they have not done things right.
And thank you very much, Ina. The Clean Ghana campaign is active on the ground. We are now in the Western region, particularly partnering with the 2nd Takoradi Metropolitan Assembly, doing a great job there, going around regularly with us to ensure that there is cleanliness. I just want to leave you with something from Thursday, because rural communities yet to be connected to the national grid are presented with a challenging environment that impact adversely on livelihoods of farmers. To ease your burden, a lecturer at the Takoradi Technical University developed and distributed blenders and shellers built on bicycles to support communities without electricity. Emmanuel Bright-Kweku has that report.
Shellers are built on a bicycle frame which employs paddling to power the blades of the blender for cutting and shelling. Kojo Asariapori is the team lead for the eco-friendly project.
Some of the villages in the north where they don't have access to electricity, and the communities, especially the women, they do a lot of labor-intensive farming, and then they have to finish and come back home to cook and all that. Then I noticed that the smoothie bike, which is also called a blender bike, would be useful to them, where what they have in their homes are the stone for grinding and household domestic activity. So we started to try the blender bike with them. Then we noticed that it worked. We built corn grinder for them, shea butter grinder for them. We built a rice dehuxer. We built also corn remover. And what they do is that they use it this time around without needing to buy electricity or even buy fuel.
And that's it for Newsnight. Tonight up next is Personality Profile. Eric Acquah is a founder and managing director of Blue Rose Limited.
It's the time of the day when all seems okay. It gets better when I hear you play. I keep begging for more emotions, they soar as you take me on that Lexus tour. When I'm going home, it's drive time on joy. Whoa. Lexus, take me home. It's drive time on joy. Whoa. Lexus, take me home. Whoa. Whoa. Lexus, take me home.
Hi, this is Nana Window. Listen to Personality Profiles with Lexus Bill. Get inspired, get nourished, and grow to be the best that you want to be. Personality Profile and 99.7 FM. I love it.
Hello, people. This is Rocky Dauni, and you are listening to Personality Profile on Joy 99.7 FM with my man, Lexus Bills. This is the show that is meant to inspire you. This is the show that is meant for you to aspire to your greatest self.
I'm Vera Kwakofi, Current Affairs Editor of BBC Africa. Keep listening to Lexus Bill on Personality Profile on Joy 99.7 FM. You could just be able to hear the best piece of advice that sets you on the course to success.
Hi, this is Nadia Antano, Miss Ghana 2013. Keep listening to Personality Profile with Lexus Bill every Thursday at 7 p.m. on Joy FM, and be inspired.
Hi, my name is James Ebo-White, or everyone calls me Uncle Ebo-White. You know, what you'll be 5 years from now depends on only two things: the books you read and the people you meet. On Personality Profile, you meet the kind of people you need to meet to make your transition to your greatness. You want a program that would help you, inspire you, motivate you. Why bother to turn to other channels? Just stay here on Personality Profile and you get all the inspiration you need.
Yeah, you can be the greatest, you can be the best, you can be the King Kong banging on your chest. You can beat the world, you can beat the war. Talk the guy, go banging on his door. You can throw your hands up, you can beat the clock. Yeah. You can move a mountain, you can break rocks. You can be a master, don't wait for luck. Dedicate yourself and you can find yourself standing in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. And the world's gonna know your name. Yeah. 'Cause you burn with the God's flame. Yeah. And the world you can run the mile, you can walk straight through hell with a smile. You could be the hero, you can get the gold. Breaking all the records they thought never could be broke. Yeah, do it for your people, do it for your pride. You ain't never gonna know if you never even try. Do it for your country, do it for your name. 'Cause there's gonna be a day when you're standing in the Hall of Fame. And the world's gonna know your name. Be politicians, be preachers, yeah. Be believers, be leaders, be astronauts, be champions, be truth seekers. Be students, be teachers, be politicians, be preachers, yeah. Be believers, be leaders, be astronauts, be champions. Standing in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. And the world's gonna know your name.
Absolutely. You could be sitting in the Hall of Fame and the world will know your name. Good evening, Ghana, and welcome to Personality Profile here on Joy 99.7 FM. I'm so elated that we're back. It's a new year, and I'm excited that we're actually going to have amazing episodes this year. Look, as we step into the new year, Anspeed, engaging and enlightening conversations with seasoned business leaders, accomplished individuals, public figures, government officials, influential people, anticipate. It's going to be good. Look, your loyalty to our Personality Profile is truly appreciated, and we're committed to bringing you even more inspiring discussions in the days ahead. Thank you for being part of our journey, and stay tuned for the wealth of insights that's to come. Yeah? I'm Lexus Bill. On behalf of the crew, I'd like to say a welcome. And to start off the year, we have a very, very interesting conversation for you. Yeah, I'm hosting a very hard-working man. Yep. A distinguished figure in Ghana. He has had an illustrious career spanning over 35 years in the real estate sector here in Ghana. Yeah, he's led a team to deliver over 1,000 affordable homes here in Ghana and still counting. From a background of landscaping and as one of the few people with an excellent track record in landscaping, he's built an enviable fortune of companies that include the Blue Rose Estates, Blue Rose Concrete Products, Blue Rose Educational Complex, Blue Rose Lodge, Blue Rose Medical Center, Blue Rose Sports Complex. He has actually established Blue Rose Florist First, a landscaping company that spearheaded various monumental projects across Accra, from the Tetekwashi Interchange to Liberation Road, in Koko Bypass, ACP Estates Landscaping in Pokwase. I mean, I can go on and on and on, including the beautification of several government institutions. His professional credentials include a certificate in corporate governance and project management. Now, he has shared his insights and expertise at various international forums, notably the European Business Summit, and he's actually even authored the book Born to Serve. In fact, he has another book that's coming in a few weeks. It will be launched later next month, I think, very early next month, and the title is called My Testimony. He details how a young man living with his sister, would take charge of beautifying their new home somewhere in Achimota, get so many plaudits for it, and start a whole business. In fact, his consulting room was a salon. And from there, he actually monetized all the gigs that came his way and built a very huge empire. This is an amazing story, and I thought that, look, we need to hear it. He's a very affable man, great personality, and he's my guest. Founder and managing director of Blue Rose Limited and the first vice president of the Ghana Real Estate Developers Association, GREDA, Mr. Eric Ebu Acquah. Chairman,
yes,
Acquah.
Thank you.
So good to see you, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
I'm excited to host you today.
I'm also equally excited to be on your program because I've been a big fan of your program.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, you listen in sometimes?
Every Thursday I listen to it.
Wow.
I don't miss it.
Why do you stay tuned in like that?
It's good to hear people's story and also learn from it.
Yeah.
And I've been listening to it for a number of years, and I always pick one or two things.
Oh, there you go. Well,
in life, you keep learning.
Yes. Today we get to hear your story as well. So welcome. But how you doing? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year too. Oh, it's a new year, and it's a year with a great expectation.
Yeah.
I believe that when you expect good things come to you.
Yes. Look, first of all, I really need to congratulate you because I had the chance to see the Blue Rose City in Kaswa, which has some really amazing developments. And I thought it was really huge until you told me that's just phase 1. And there's phase 2 and 3 coming. Must have been tough getting where you are.
With prayers and dedication and with dedicated staff, it's easy. The work is like a hobby to me.
Oh, wow. You enjoy doing it.
I enjoy serving.
Yeah, one of my favorite quotes, they say, if you enjoy what you do, you never get to work a day in your life. Yeah. Anyway, I'm excited that you're here. But how has the year started for you and the team of Blue Rose?
Oh, the year just started. And construction, when you demobilize, it takes a bit of time to mobilize.
Okay.
So now we are fully mobilized, and it has started good. And
okay.
We have big expectation for the year.
Okay. I understand you are actually launching a new book called My Testimony. Is it that you are at the point where you realize that, you have lived life, you have made it, so you think, okay, why don't I share my story with other people? Why don't I, inspire people with my story? Is that what you seek to do?
Partially so, but my main focus of that book is to also, let the youth know that you can make it in Ghana here. I want them to listen to people who have stayed all their life in Ghana, who started very small and have been able to do it despite all the challenges.
Okay.
So this book is mainly targeted to the youth.
Okay.
And I'm also launching it on my 60th birthday.
On your 60th birthday?
Which is so special to me.
No, that's
so that's the gift I can give.
Wow. So you're retiring very soon?
No, the first phase of retirement is starting. Moving to another level.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. On your 60th birthday. Okay. Now, we can get a sneak peek into the book, into your life, actually, even before the book comes out. Yeah. So let's get to the beginnings. Where are you from?
I'm from Ejumakoban. It's a small town from Sudro to Ejumako. It's just in between, and it's a very lovely place to be.
Okay. That's where you were born?
That's where I was born. That's where my mom came from, and my dad came from South Pond, Achinfo.
Okay. Okay. So how was it like growing up as a kid?
I was born at Ejumako. I started school at Ejumako Ban. The Ban had a school, but I couldn't get enrollment in the school, so I have to travel to the next village, which is called Eshim.
Why didn't you get the enrollment?
The school was full. Virtually, it was full.
Okay.
No, this were the days that when you are 6 years, you have to go to school at 6. So at that time, I didn't have the opportunity. So I went to the nearby town, which is not too far away from there. Mm-hmm. So you walk about 2 kilometers, you go to school at the age of 6.
Okay. But how was growing up? What were your parents into? What did they do?
My mom was into selling of materials.
Cloth.
Cloth.
Okay, fabric.
Fabric, and those times you didn't have a shop. So certain days of the week you go and sell it at a Jumako. Then in the market day, Saturday and Wednesday, you go to Mankasim, go display, and come back.
Okay.
This was a very hard-working lady.
Okay, and your dad?
And my dad was an education officer. He was living in Sopon, and he started as a teacher. He graduated to be education director in the district.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe we would say that you were not that bad. Life wasn't that hard on you.
I would say life was a bit tough because I was coming from a second wife.
Oh, I see.
Your
mom was a second wife.
My dad had a missus, and I was like a side son. You get it? So we didn't have the opportunity of accessing to my dad so much. My mom single-handedly took care of most of the things and he was just a petty trader, so it was tough. So at a point he sent us to our dad to stay with, but staying with your step mom and other things, you don't get it like you are with your own mother.
Yeah. Well, what were some of the things that happened with your stepmom?
Actually, my dad and the stepmom was not in the same house. But I remember when I was in evening primary school, when my dad was building his house, at the tender age of around 10, 11, we made the blocks. We were the laborers. I and my sister Sophia were the laborers of the house. No, not that he wanted to misuse us, but he was an education officer and he needed to save costs.
Yes.
So we made the block. We helped as a laborer to the basin, as part of the construction of the house.
Yeah.
But they were all things that has groomed me to be who I am today.
Yeah. But I mean, if you look back, seeing that your father had a wife and your mom was like a mistress, if you go what I mean. Yeah, a mistress, yes. Yeah. A mistress. How do you think that affected your upbringing?
In a way, psychologically, when you were a child and you know that you are not from the mainstream, it really affects you.
Okay.
Moreover,
because of that, there was not so much attention to educators. But my mom was meant to make sure that we get educated.
Okay.
So you will make sure that your school fees, though you are staying with your father, you will make sure that you will send your school fees.
Yeah.
He will make sure you will send your school crop. He will make sure that he will stuff up some food in somebody's house so that when you are hungry, you can run there and go eat. Yeah. So that was it. But I think, it was just an experience. And my dad was a bit indifferent, easygoing person.
Yeah.
So it was difficult, but we managed.
You managed. Were you the only child between your mom and your dad?
No, I was not the only child.
Oh, they went to have more.
I was the fourth. We had 3 ladies before me. I was
from your mother?
Yes, from my mother, with my dad.
Even as a mistress?
That's a whole story.
I know. I mean,
that's the whole story.
I'm just curious, Wow,
that's the whole story.
Your dad was a champion man.
My mom was a smart woman. She knew what he wanted. Okay. You see, my mom.
When you say she knew what he wanted,
no, he was born in the village. My mom was a twin, and all the sisters didn't go to school, and they married from the village. And my mom decided I won't marry, any illiterate. I want to marry somebody who is educated.
Okay.
So that my children will also be educated.
Oh.
So my dad was posted to our village. So my mom decided to serve him. And he served him very well. So he had a reward for that.
Wow, what a story. I see. Yeah. But did they eventually get married?
They never got married. No, he had the missus. Yeah. My mom said that he just wanted a boy from him. So he did one, he had a girl, he did second.
Another girl.
And that guy did third. And my dad was posted to Wa. So when he saw that Mrs. was around, my mom sneaked into Wa.
Hey.
Yes. No, that's why I say it's a story of his life. He really pestered my dad.
Wow.
Yes. And he went to my dad, didn't want to allow her in, but he was focused, he knew what he wanted. And lo and behold, that was me. And when he had me, he said, "Thank God, I'm done." So he named me, he gave me a special name because of how he named me Jafta. So my original name is Jafta.
Jafta, what does it mean?
Go to the Bible, you see who Jafta is.
I need to look it up.
Jafta is a son of a harlot.
Ah. Wow.
Who later became a leader of the family.
Wow.
So my mom I always say that my mom is a prophetess.
Wow. No, this is a very interesting story, man. When you were old enough to understand this arrangement or this setup that your mother had, or your mother and your father had, when you were old enough to understand what it is, what did you make of it?
My mom always intrigued me. You see, he was a lady that knew what you wanted and he went for it. Nothing stopped. He had a lot of challenges in that. He was beaten, he was insulted. So many things happened to him, but he knew what he wanted.
I see.
It's perseverance. Yeah. So everything, you persevere.
Well, you can join us via your comments on WhatsApp 055-1111-997. I'm here with the founder and MD of Blue Rose Real Estate Limited, Mr. Jafta Eric Acquah.
The Jafta is in my box.
It's in the box.
Yes. So my baptismal certificate,
it had Jafta on it.
Jafta Acquah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So let's get to schooling now. You schooled there? Or?
Yes, I started school at Ejumako, Eshim. Then I moved. My mom said that a man must be trained by a man. So he sent me to my dad at Sopon. So I continue at Sopon Methodist Primary B School at the Beach Road.
Okay, so a man must be trained by a man.
Yes.
Why?
He knows that, you see, I'm that time I was the only son of her. And he knows that when I stay with her, he will pamper me.
Yeah.
And I will not get the vision he wanted for me.
Yeah.
So he knew that when I'm with my dad, and my dad was educated, and he wanted me to be educated. So he sent me to my dad. Okay. Whether I'll be accepted or not, but he sent me there. But he made sure that my school fees is paid.
Okay.
He made sure that he sent my school dress. He made sure that there's food. He had a friend who lives not too far away from our house. So he made sure that he buy provisions and everything there. So anytime I'm hungry, I can run there and go and eat.
Yeah.
But he wanted me to stay with my dad so I can take some traces of him.
But do you agree that a man has...
I have no option because I was very young.
No. I mean now, that concept, do you agree that
I agree.
A boy has to be raised by a man?
I totally agree because let me tell you one thing. Anybody who is coming from a family that the wife and the mother are together, you see a different person, a different product. Anybody who also just stay with the mom, you also see a different product. So most of the things that are happening are coming from broken homes.
I see. Interesting. Very interesting thoughts there. So as a young person, what kind of career did you want to get into?
I always wanted to be a farmer.
Why?
Because when I was young in my village, my grandmom have goats and I was taking care of the goats. And you take care, they give birth, they give you one. So even at the tender age of about 6 years, 6 to 10, I had goats.
Okay.
And I remember my senior sister, my first sister, when he was going to Fantamai, they sold my goat to pay her fees. So I was rearing anymore. I was going to farm with my grandmom. We had a cocoa farm that we walked about 5 to 10 kilometers and we'll go to our farm. Our farm was called Butu. Butu.
What does it mean?
It's a small village with just one hut. So we'll go there sometimes. We'll stay there about 3 days without coming home. Then we do everything. So I was introduced to farming early in my life. And I remember my dad also bought me a T-shirt written with the inscription, Farmers of Tomorrow.
Wow.
So I always wanted to be...
It stuck with you?
Yeah, I always wanted to be a farmer. And it stuck till when I got to secondary school. So when I was in secondary school, I said, okay, I want to do agric. But unfortunately, I did science. Then at the university, I wanted to do agric, but I said, if I'm doing farming or I'm doing agric, I want to do the best, to be one of the best farmers. And I've heard about Israel, that the place is desert, but also they have plant. I said, okay, this is where I want to go to my university because I want to be a practical farmer, not a Thai farmer, a farmer that will be. But unfortunately, after school, that's O level. I went to Odan Secondary School.
Okay.
O level. I did my sixth form at Odan, which I did science. So I also loved flowers when I was in school. So when I came home, my sister had bought a house in Achimota, so I was staying with my sister. So I started changing the landscaping in the house, and my sister had a small salon. So people were coming there, they saw the landscaping, it was nice. So they said, oh, Sister Emilia, who did it for you? So my brother. So they will call me, oh, come and do my house for me. Then I'll go. Then there were a few flower shops in Accra, one at North Connection, one at the T Junction. So I was visiting them. So I'll go buy flowers, come and change their setting. And I was doing it, and I was getting the money.
Yeah.
And I was also happy what I was doing.
Yeah.
Though my sister didn't like it so much because it was a dirty job.
Yeah.
But I love it because I was getting money, and I was also getting satisfaction by doing a good job for them.
Yeah.
And the job kept coming. Then Achimota was then developing. And there was a lot of houses in Achimota. So I can walk from Achimota to Tantra Hill, to La Paz, and all the surrounding. There were houses coming up. So I was doing it, and the money was coming. Some were paying me in cedis, some were paying me dollars, some were paying me in pound.
Wow.
So I displayed them in my under my wardrobe, and I was happy.
Yeah. Now, you actually jumped a part of the story that I wanted to talk about. And I actually read that in your book, because I had the privilege of getting the first copy of your book that's unreleased, where you came to Accra to stay with your sister. But your sister had not discussed with her husband that you were coming to live with them.
Yes. I came after elementary school. My sister invited me to Accra. Then my sister was living at Dansuma exhibition, Papaya Street. So they gave me direction to come to Accra. I've never been to Accra before. So Hansonic Junction, they said they will meet me there. Then there was no telephone. I don't know how they communicated. So I was just put in a car. I got to Hansonic Junction. Then the driver put me there. So my sister and the husband came. They picked me in their Toyota. So when they picked me, we didn't go to the house straight. We went to their friend's house. So while they were conversing, I saw that it was no agreement that I'm coming to stay.
Okay.
So the man was a bit peeved. So I overheard them, and I decided that then I have to make sure that I behave so that I'm not thrown back to the
village. So how did you win him over?
I'll make sure that by the time you wake up, the car is washed, the house is clean. When he has to, he call me, I'll run like something. I'll make sure that I act like, a fool. So he was very happy. He was happy. So gradually he turned, to like me.
Yeah.
And I was fully accepted as a member. But you see, something happened just after I've left, after Form 5. My grandmom died. Then my sister was not around. My sister was somebody in the family who had a little money. So in our village at Ejumakuban, then I have to go as a man to make sure, because I didn't have uncles.
Okay.
I have no uncles that I can look up to. So we went, the Methodist Church bought the coffin. They bought the coffin in the next town called Ejumaku Techimai. Then you have to transport the coffin to Ejumakuban so that we can bury my grandmom. We didn't have money. We didn't have car. Nobody in the family had car. So we have to trek at dawn to the next village, which is about 10 kilometers away. We went, about 4 guys. We just carried the coffee from Ejumaku Techiman right to Ejumakuban.
Wow.
Yes. And anytime I look back, or I go to my village, when I get to that spot, I always wonder if it were this time, people would say that it was a Sakawa.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
But we didn't have the money to transport. So the best way was to carry, because the Methodist Church bought the coffee.
Yes.
And you have to go for it.
You have to go for it.
So we went for it. I remember we did the bamboo shed. We put the palm kernel leaves on it to make the funeral, because I was the boy.
Yeah.
And we didn't have the money, but we managed it. So anytime I look back on that, it really, humbles me from where I'm coming from.
Wow, lots of messages are coming in. We're just joining in. Eric Acquah is the founder and CEO of Blue Rose Limited and also the vice president of Greda. And Wafa Kwame Ike Arthur says, I'm enjoying the conversation live from Elmina, currently on a working visit, and I'm tuned in. Uncle Ibu is my in-law, and his story is very, very inspiring. Okay. Uncle Ibu is such an affable and great man. Learned a lot from him as a young boy living in the same neighborhood. He's still my undisputed Scrabble champion in Ghana. Joe from Medina. Oh, you're a Scrabble champion.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. I see. Edmond Awaiti says, good evening, Lexus. The story of your guest is very interesting. We should never underestimate what women with determination and commitment can achieve when given the right support. I also like his attitude to serve his sister's husband. The youth of our generation must serve with humility and integrity. And that's from Edmond Awaite. Thank you, Edmond. I think I totally agree with all these comments that are coming through. Wonderful stuff. Okay. So now you are in Accra. You've started this landscaping business, which is obviously doing well, from the salon consultations and whatnot. How did you scale it up and decide that, okay, I'm going to stay here and make it a business?
Then we're staying at Acquah. And Acquah was a new neighborhood. So my sister has bought a house. I was living there. I've just finished school. I was waiting to do my national service. So I decided to beautify the place because I love flowers. When I was in school, there's this flower called Forget Me Not. Every weekend, I'll just go and take, it's a yellowish flower. I like the smell and the color of it. I'll go and spread it on my bed. And I'm happy.
Wow.
When I'm going on prep, I'll just put some on my table all around.
I see.
So I love flowers. So I started beautifying the place. I did it, as a passion. Nobody forced me to do it, but I decided to do it. And my sister had a salon, so people were coming there. So they would come and they would ask, "Oh, who did the flowers?" So they would introduce me. So I started doing it. Then it started expanding. Every person I get, I put it in. So at a point, the whole place was full of flowers, and it became a nuisance. So one day, at a new plan where the Mekong collapsed, that very plot. I was just passing, then I saw that the place was bushy, very, very bushy, and there was a bread factory close by. So I went to the bread factory, I asked about that plot, whether I can use that plot. And that very day, that lady said, "Oh, it's for my brother, you can use it from today," because people were just defecating there.
Yeah.
So he just gave me that plot without paying a peswa. And that day I prayed. I said, "Lord, I'm using this plot for 10 years. And for 10 years, I was on this plot. I never paid a dime.
Wow.
I never paid a peswa, and the business was flourishing. Then I moved on to establish another one close to where Acquah overhead is. There's a gutter there. I saw the gutter, I saw the water, and I saw that it was a good place. So I also established one. Then the charcoal cars will come to the opposite. So I also established one. Then I also moved on to establish one at Dansuma, where Ghana Telecom, the Vodafone are, where they are built. It was a rubbish dam. I established one there. Then I went on to establish one at Dansuma Exhibition, around the roundabout, the left side. And one thing that motivated me was that time the young guys were coming to me and they needed job. So I have to find a way to provide them jobs. So when they come, I'll train them. So when I train them, then I'll establish, then I'll put them there. I'll train and I'll put them there. So I had 4 flower shops in Accra.
Wow.
And I started making the flower pot design. Most of the flower pot designs are my own design. Some of them I would just wake up, then think of hexagons, then I'll find a way to do it. Then I'll go to those who carve wood to do JMA carving for me. Then we'll do the mortar, then we'll put it, then you have a flower pot with JMA. So we started introducing that. People like it.
Yeah.
And the money was coming. I tell you, flower business is a very good business.
Is it?
Yes.
Wow.
It's a gold on the rubbish dump.
Wow. The flower business.
It's a very good business. Very, very good business.
And that is actually the foundation of all that you've created.
Yes, that is. I wish I'm so into flowers.
And that is why you named your company Blue Rose.
Yes. Let me tell you the story of Blue Rose. When I started, I had the name Golden Touch. I started at 88, then 89 August, I decided to register. I went to register general with the name Golden Touch. When I got there, I don't know, the name Blue Rose just dropped. So it dropped, and it dropped with the meaning. So I chose Blue Rose. Then the story was that people anticipate that Blue Rose exists, but they have not seen Blue Rose. So you are unique. Yeah. You are a solution to something that people are thinking about.
Something that they're imagining, but they haven't seen it.
They haven't seen it.
Wow.
So I use the name Bruce. Always people ask me whether your wife is Bruce or what.
So you actually have one of the biggest estates in Ghana here, the Blue Rose City in Acquah.
Yeah.
Which sits on what? Very huge piece of land. How many acres is that?
About 200 acres.
200 acres of land.
Yeah.
And you've already developed over 900 units.
So far, we have about 1,500.
1,500 units.
Yeah.
Holy moly. So, first thing is, how did you acquire such a huge plot of land? Were you a rich man by that time?
I was not a rich man. We bought that plot without any money. I was just one day, I went to Sopon Bible School for a graduation. I was coming from Sopon to Accra. Then I got there, I saw the land, and something within me told me that this land is for you. So I went looking for the owner. They showed me the owner. I went and said, "Can you buy?" I said, "I want to buy." Then I've started the estate, but I didn't have the money to buy.
Okay, you had started building houses already.
No, that is not our first estate. We have different estates. That's about 11 sites.
Oh, I see.
So I went, I said, "Oh, give it to me. Let's have a sales agreement. Give me a payment plan, and I'll pay you over time." So we had a sales agreement, not drafted by any lawyer. I went to draft it, and he signed, I signed.
Wow.
We had a sales agreement, and he gave me a period of about 2 years to pay. But because I was already started building, because let me tell you how I started building, then I'll come back. I had 2 plots. I built 2 houses on it. Then after some time, I said I want to sell those houses. It took me 4 years. Nobody was buying it at Acquah. Then later, one body came and he bought one, left with one. And the second one, 2 people came at the same time. So when they came, I thought they were joking. By the time I saw all the 2 have transferred the money into my accounts. So I have to go to one and tell you, no, somebody has paid first. So you give me time, I'm going to build one for you, but I'm going to improve on yours. The other one, the 3 bedrooms, has 2 toilets. I said, I'll make it all en suite for you. And he agreed. So I did it for him. He was happy, and he also brought friends. And people started hearing of me. Then the state people came. So we need, the drivers and the security people, they came. They also needed affordable housing. So I saw, how much you have, you come. Then I'll give you a house. So I started building. So the customers keep coming. So I never planned to go into real estate. It just happened to me. It just happened. I never planned because I was doing my landscaping. But you see, I was working at ACP Estates, and I saw that it's only Ghanaians outside who can buy. And I also thought that Ghanaians here, they need something a bit affordable to live in. So I went to discuss with them if they can do some at a lower rate. But they had their market.
Their market, yeah.
They had their market.
So it means that there was a certain market that was not being served.
Yes, and it's still not being served because there are a lot of people looking for accommodation, but they can't afford higher.
I mean, I was totally surprised when I noticed that you're selling houses for $40,000 and
we sold some for 10,000 Ghana cedi. 1 bedroom was going for 10,000 Ghana cedi. 2 bedroom.
That was in the beginning.
Yeah, 2 bedroom was going for 20,000 Ghana cedi. 3 bedroom was going for 23,000.
That was many years ago. We are talking about now, because now, I mean, you probably wouldn't get a decent 3 bedroom for even less than $100,000. But you're selling some houses for what, $50,000 and all.
Yes, it's not just about money. We are happy when people get a decent place to stay. Because if I get all the money and people are staying outside, they will come and attack me. So if my service to man is to also help them to have a decent. I'm blessed with burden. You see, I think it's my calling. I can't even believe that money.
Wow.
It's my calling. So I believe that I have to use my calling to help people. So we see burden is like an art. Like you are good in speaking. When we were speaking, I was looking at you. You rattle and I said, wow. I cannot do that. But I can also pick a phone and I'll make sure that the house is built. That's my calling.
That I can't do as well. Wow. No, man, I think you're so interesting and you've got an amazing story. If you're just joining us, it's Personality Profile, and Mr. Eric Acquah's story is really interesting. He's a CEO and founder of Blue Rose Real Estate Limited and the Vice President of GREDA, Ghana Real Estate Developers Association as well. Okay, so now you've got a very lovely business that has so many other parts as well. I have the Blue Rose Sports Complex, got an educational complex as well, and all. Share with us a bit of the whole profile of the company.
You see, it's not just the profile of the company. We don't just, but we develop community. So wherever we go, we make sure that at least we want to do is say that when you are there and you decide not to go to town, you can get a few basic things there. So that's our concept. So we develop communities. So wherever we go, we make sure that the basic things are there. Like the Blue Rose City, we have a police station there. We have a Blue Rose Community Church, which is now AG. We have a children playground. We have 2 schools there. We have a shopping center there. So we have a clinic yet to open. So we make sure that it's a community. But sometimes, because it's a new community, you don't have people who want to invest in. So some of these things, sometimes we are forced to
do it yourself.
Yes, because we are sending people there. And the people you are sending is also a market. So you are creating a market. So if people will not join your vision to come and do all these auxiliary things for you to get their community, then some of them you have to start doing. And once you do, it becomes also a business.
Yeah. No, that's a very interesting concept. Wow, I like that. What's the biggest challenge you've encountered in this real estate journey?
The biggest challenge, for challenges, life is full of challenges. We keep having challenges. But the biggest that nearly broke me was I went into a joint venture, which was not very successful. And it got me stuck for about 2 years.
Oh, wow.
I got, 2 years we were not working. And I have workers to pay. And I've mortgaged my properties, my land, and everything. That was the biggest. And just after that, the COVID also came. But by God's grace, we have learned from it and we have moved on.
What's the biggest lesson you learned from that?
The biggest lesson I learned from it, you have to persevere in whatever you are doing. Never give up. Because sometimes, at a point, yes, I wanted to give up. But I look at people who are looking up to you. I said, no, I cannot disappoint these people. You look at your children and say, I cannot disappoint them. Look at your workers, you say, so that keeps me moving. Because you see, let me tell you, if somebody trusts you so much that when I come to work, I will get my dairy and my children will eat. You can't just wake up one day and say that I've closed the company. So whether it's difficult or not, you have to make sure that you smile.
Yeah.
You have to keep your head up. And I tell you one thing. I've learned that every challenge that goes is a preparation of greater things ahead. So the bigger the things ahead, the bigger the challenges. And when you're able to go through challenges, it molds you to be a better person. Now I look back and I see all these challenges and I'm happy I went through them, though it was not easy.
Yeah.
But I'm happy I went through them. It has given me different perspective of life.
Yeah.
Now I understand things in a different way.
Yeah.
And it's also a hammering experience.
Yeah.
Sometimes we think that you know it all when some of these things don't come. And it's also come to test your faith.
Right. Right. What's your biggest regret?
My biggest regret. One word I've always said I don't want to say is had I known. I don't have had I known in my dictionary. Certain things have happened to me that is not too present, but I've learned from that. So I'm happy I went through them, so that I can also use my experience to also tell people about it. So when you talk about regret, nothing really comes to mind.
Okay. Lots of messages coming in. 055-1111-997. You can share. Nicholas on our Facebook live stream says, Mr. Acquah has actually taught me a lot, and determination is one thing I'm taking out of today's interview. Persevering earns you great things. Yes, and Haj Sailor says, he's my boss, down to earth, but very focused when it comes to business. God bless you, Director. I'm really enjoying the program. Great man with a good heart. And that's Alaji. Yeah, I said his name is Alaji. Yeah.
He's one of my hardworking guys.
Wow.
I've worked with him for about 25 years.
Wow.
Most of my workers have worked 25 years, 18 years, 14 years. It's like a family. We are all happy.
I see. So the real estate industry, you are focused on affordable homes. But a lot of people say that most of our properties in Ghana are overpriced. We say affordable, but how affordable is affordable to people?
Yes, I believe that most of the properties are very overpriced because some of the prices that you can hear matches to most of the top cities in the whole world. Like when it comes to Accra, the Labonis and the airport, some of the prices it matches to those in Manhattans, New York, and other places. But you see, everybody wants to be in the center. Nobody wants to stay outskirts. I decided that I want to stay outskirts of town. Okay, so I had my modest prices. But if you want to stay in the center, then you must be prepared to pay. But somehow it's overpriced. But let me tell you one thing. Now, even a land in the city, you can pay about $5 million for 1 acre land in the city. If somebody buy 1 acre at $5 million, then expect that whatever you put on, you also make sure that the prices will be. So everything is overhyped in Accra here. That one is true. Even wache, when you eat wache at Isegon and you eat wache at Kaswa, you see that the Kaswa one will be about 10 times less. So you have to decide where you want to live.
Yeah. And you've lived in Kaswa for...
I lived in Kaswa for about 27 years, and I tell you, it's the best place to live. But you people have a lot of possessions, which I don't know where you got it from.
Which people?
No, a lot of Ghanaians say Kaswa.
Where say you people? Why? What have I done to you?
You are a city boy. I've lived there 27 years with my family. We are happy. And I tell you, even if you dash me at Trasako, I won't move. Maybe I'll rent it and stay there. I love the place. And you see...
What is it about the place?
No, my focus was also to help develop Kaswa. When I moved to Kaswa, there was no police station. There was nothing. Now Kaswa boasts of a regional police post. There was nothing there. There was nothing beautiful. But I tell you, it's one of the top emerging cities in the whole of Africa.
I see. I know a lot of developments going on there.
Where the beat is where the watchers go.
Wow, I see. Oh boy. I mean, I've really enjoyed this. What's your greatest fear?
My greatest fear. My greatest fear is that I will miss heaven.
As it stands, do you think you will?
Oh, I think I know I'll be among the first people to go because.
Oh, you're sure about that?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Anyway, I mean, I've totally enjoyed having this conversation with you. When is your book coming out?
My book is coming out on the 9th of February.
Okay.
Which also marked my 60th birthday.
Wow.
Which marked my first retirement.
Yeah.
To greater things ahead.
Yeah.
So I will have a small ceremony to launch the book.
Okay.
And after that, we would like to visit a lot of schools.
Yeah.
Talk to them, share some of the books with them, and help to raise a lot of young guys who think that there's no hope for them. That's what is ahead.
That's wonderful. Like I said, I was able to see phase 1 of the Blue Rose City. So it means you have more developments coming up.
Oh, we'll continue to build.
Okay.
Because people will continue to need accommodation. There is also a push somewhere that we must also develop something in one of the West African countries. We are looking at it, and if we get the green light, we'll also start something in one of the West African countries.
Okay.
But now, our goal is to make sure that houses are a bit affordable. I don't like the prices we are selling now because of late prices have really escalated, but we'll try our best to make sure that whoever comes to us who need a decent place to stay will have a decent place to stay.
Okay.
We also want to end the story that people will give their money to their relatives, and when they come down, they don't get their houses. So we have quite a sizable foreign customers that we serve. They are happy. And because of that, when they are happy, they also make sure that they also tell people about it, and they also bring people. And once they are happy, we are happy.
Yeah.
And that is what keeps us going.
Good stuff. Thank you so much. I'm grateful that you spent time with us. God bless you. You have an amazing story. I've learned a lot. And I'm sure our listeners as well have enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you. And, I know you're a very great guy. Nice also having me on the station. And I believe this is the beginning of great things that are yet to happen.
Absolutely. Mr. Eric Ebo Acquah is the founder and CEO of Blue Rose Limited and Vice President of the Ghana Real Estate Developers Association, GREDA. And he's been my guest on Personality Profile today. If you missed any part of this conversation, the video is live on our Facebook. And believe me, we had a very good conversation. Very interesting angles to his story, and you'd want to relive it. I've learned a lot, and I hope you have as well. Very shortly, Uncle Ken will take over the radio. And, of course, expect nothing but very good music, eclectic selection of good music from Uncle Ken here on Joy 99.7 FM. Uncle Ken Afishapa, so good to see you.
Hey, Kwame, yes.
Yes, how are you?
Afishapa,
yeah, I mean.
Yes, long time no see.
Yes, I'm so happy to see you.
Yes, I've been away for a while, you know.
Welcome back.
I'm glad I'm back.
Welcome, Uncle Ken.
Good evening to your guest. I've been listening to his story.
Yes, very interesting story.
Very interesting story.
Thank you.
Yes.
Uncle Ken takes over now. Thank you so much, Uncle Ken. Over to you.
Best. You can be the King Kong banging on your chest. You could beat the world, you could beat the war. You can talk to God, go banging on his door. You can throw your hands up, you can beat the clock. You can move a mountain, you can break rocks. You could be a master, don't wait for luck. Dedicate yourself and you can find yourself standing in the Hall of Fame. You can run the mile, you can walk straight through hell with a smile. You could be the hero, you can get the gold. Breaking all the records they thought never could be broke. Yeah, do it for your people, do it for your pride. Are you ever gonna know if you never even try? Do it for your country, do it for your name. Cause there's gonna be a day when you're standing in the Hall of Fame. And the world's gonna know your name. Cause you burn with the brightest flame. lovers, be leaders, be astronauts, be champions, be